Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Napo's real name. Prempe. What Prempe? Napo's real name is what? Something Prempe. Guys, get me Napo's real name. The running Mr. P, what's Napo's real name? Napo. Nidiankasa the same. Matthew Opoku Prempe. Thank you very much. This coming from Kobina. Matthew Opoku Prempe. Napo. And today I'm going to be very, very professional. It's very important because this particular episode, no, international businessmen, millionaires are watching. I don't have to mess up too much. I'll try my best to be professional. I'm not wearing tie. I'm not wearing suit, but I'll do my best to look very professional. Like this guy, hey, this guy. Yeah. So, and very beautiful ladies too are watching around the world. So today, dear, I'm going to be very, very professional. Before we start today's show, let me give you an idea of what we are about to talk about. It's got to do with a contract that Tullow and its partners, and when we say partners of Tullow, Metro partners, a contract that basically, if I'm going to make it easy for you, contracts that they give companies to go undersea, kind of upstream. Omoko eponim bibia sebio oba epono so a ekrubia wona asase Ghana ya asase na efre Jubilee Field no ye wo asase bibria yetututu bibia efre no den wells no technical name sometimes with the man no and the blocks bibia yetumi twa asase ba ho a bibia one plot ye say ha two oil inti companies like Tullow, companies like Cosmos, companies like all the other companies, you know, the oil companies, when they come, they sit with Ghana, we give them a plot on the sea for them to do what? For them to mine oil. Now, at a point, those places need some kind of maintenance underground. There are cables down there and a lot of works going on inside the sea. Tullow, technically, on the highest shareholder about a year. Companies are operating in Ghana when it comes to oil drilling. Inti to say Tullow for na head of the shareholders. Now, make sure shareholders no value obiakuta anyway Tullow is the lead. And say Cosmos too another strong partner. They have Jubilee Field, they have GMPC, almost partners. Into all these partners come together and almost say okay. Ejuma ekoso of field way so anase eponase no. We want a company to go into. If you want to know what they do exactly, this is what they do. Into normally no, they go on the company should go underground. A year in Sionum upstream, omoko in so deep sea no. Bibia ye to oil na asasana no. This company is supposed to go there and do some inspection and maintenance work and repairs as all the partners agree. Say you bet pesika. Na sebio ye nyina agege na ye dia sa company no akọ eponase na wakoye maintenance job. So as you can see on the screen, this is basically what they do when a company is given contract to go undersea and as a seabed no sa na my friend the seabed eponase no to go and deliver ejuma. If you don't know what we are talking about tonight, this is what we will be discussing. Ejuma Napo, and some people they have connived to steal from Ghana. And then I maybe very technical, but I want you to follow me as time goes on. Kakrano, you will understand, and that is what we will be doing tonight. These are some of the jobs in 2 person who they go at the seabed, they go there and they do the job, maintenance job, they do repairs, they do inspection. So at least you have an idea of what we are about to talk about. Into contract now can you say IMR contract Mr. P, Mr. S, please be on standby and be giving me the notes. In fact, I know it's a lot today. Thank you, Nkoto. It's a lot today. So guys, I know you're on standby, but I need you guys very much because there's a lot to put out today. This is basically the job companies Now, after Mebeka this company, when I came out to speak on the corruption that is going on, Matthew Opoku Prempe, minister, our share energy so and it's annual we in also Ghana. No, for some reason, in less than 24 hours, or release a statement, about 10 questions to him tonight. We will answer his questions. The questions he needs to answer. And that is the most interesting part of this whole thing. Remember, this episode, I have been advised not to put every single document out because Tullow or yet the leader when it comes to energy partners in Ghana. They are UK almost stock exchange. Let's say Tullow also. So some of the documents are supposed to go to the UK. For some people, I also have some questions. Some of the documents we will not release the full document. We will give you extracts, any pieces from it. But the most important thing is say Krono and Napo, any MPP are buying, and some individuals in Ghana. Individuals are very important. We are talking from Bumpty all the way to Mr. Walters to other people. I will show their faces and names on this platform. So and then you bring. So it's going to be a very, very packed show. Just relax and follow the show. I will do everything possible. As I speak in English, everything possible to also move along. Our brothers and sisters almost this particular episode is not because of Ghana politics. It goes beyond Ghana politics. This is about protecting our ocean, the species in them, and also international companies respecting the rule and the laws that govern their job. So it is not geared towards Ghana politics directly or necessarily. It is a bigger project we are working on. There are other things I will be exposing this week. ENI, any other companies, I must spill oil or producing other, but that's not our focus. Our focus today is to let Ghanaians know how global warming we can stop it, and how platforms like these we have to try everything possible to stop private companies who are taking advantage of respective countries, especially when they have been given sites or they have been given blocks to mine or to drill oil. So I'll say, your horizon should be wider than just looking at Ghana politics. Napo de Wieska, but this is bigger than Napo. This is bigger than all the people who are trying to make noise. So before I postulate, let me understand. Let you understand what we are about to do today. Now, Napo actual letter Ababontibe responded to a statement here where he say he is signing a dubious contract. So our contract, he's going to make over $250 million personally. And that the contract, the amount they are showing us, the value of the contract, on the face, and yet 204 million. Behind the scenes, some things have been maxed. Yakata nyomabiso and Napo any partners are more into the private sector, oil sector. They are basically doing everything possible to make us think they are signing a $204 million contract, but it is not. The contract itself is $550 million plus. And tonight, we will break it down for everyone to know the kind of person we are dealing with. The energy minister, the companies, and all the ones. I have questions for the MD of Tullow. I have questions for Tullow as a company in Ghana. There are so many questions they need to answer. I am not going to sit here and tell them they have done this. The questions, if they don't answer, they will answer it in the UK. That is why I'm saying, we are going to ask a lot of questions. The MD, the CEO, some people at Tullow, majority of the workers at Tullow, managers, managerial level, they are not happy about what is happening at Tullow. But you see, a platform needs to come out and then put all these things out for Ghanaians to see what is actually happening. Now, Mumianya will 2-3 minutes, and the we will take our time to break everything down. Let's take about 2 minutes. Now, Yemfa Enridi Napo statement to us. That's the reason why today, now let's read this. For immediate release, and this document from Napo was released on the 26th of May 2024. 26th of May 2024. Now, response to spurious allegations by Kevin Taylor on a certain Tullow contract benefiting energy minister and the NPP campaign. Into almost almost responded to in Sembia Maka almost in Ukraine, Mr. Napo sign a contract be benefit on Napo any day the NPP party a year day or pese obe running mate Emma Baumia. Now, the Ministry of Energy has become aware of some spurious and unfounded allegation leveled against Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh by one Kevin Taylor, that's me. To the effect that the energy minister and the NPP 2024 campaign stands to benefit some $150 million in a certain contract involving Tullow, Cosmos, GMPC, and Petro SA. These companies, Napo, are listening. They are partners in this. When the time comes, it drew a mechlechomu and omo contribution to this. Inti the Napo actually, person say omati say Kevin Taylor my better me TV so aka say Napo assign and as or sign contract be a any contractor edimu a sebio contract no or no any NPP no omubenya infaso be 150 million or the kopboa NPP Bawumia campaign. Whilst it is clear from the said clip that the said Kevin Taylor, consistent with his discredited effusions, is even unable to provide details on the nature of the contract except to churn out lies to besmirch had won reputations or say the Kevin Taylor no kind of credit. In fact, in some of the Kenya, one fakra taba kumpo antareto, one said your okano or winjina so, in some okano or bonistrimu and anasa Kevin Taylor no, ekikasa ansemono ewo TV so. The ministry wishes to issue the following response and draw the minds of Ghanaians to the ministry's role in the overall subject matter of contracting in the Ghanaian upstream petroleum space. Into say any office no Napo say ende obeyi no ama Ghana fo ehu eye ono ministry oda no omo sebio omo bobre eba contract signing ene Ghana buying ana Ghana se oman ye individual companies and as private companies no ye de ensa e shekrata asia ye ka upstreamer eye dwumadi ekoso ewo eposo sebio eye fangu tuo no opese omeya ti ase ono ne bobre de omo ye ene de omo nye nti ose de meka nya no kure no obedwudwam abekirikirem ama Ghana fo ehu no kure no eye Napo ano asem ena making kan edwudwam akirikirem akireo. Now, this is what Napo wrote. Or say, 1. The Ministry of Energy is not responsible for the signing and approval of contracts in Ghana's upstream petroleum space, and therefore matters of signing and approval of contracts involving Tullow and its partners mentioned will certainly not require the approval of the ministry. Just a little research could have avoided this embarrassment. Napo say, 1. Obeso magana for tiase na me committee ase say energy ministry no dan no se eba contract signing a efa eposo dwumadie efa companies a omutu fango e wo Ghana eposo a ye ni asase so a o se ono no de omuni twaka bia omuni dwumadie bia ho ono Napo ohuhu frema ehuhu nsuo or say energy minister no sa contract no any sa dwumadie no ono de ono to nkwanta apai onhia onte ho frema obiampo ensend the message ono so ensend obia message obia emusa no bibia mfa ho ena ono so mbusa obia bibia mfa ho se contract ne wan siri kura onim ho hwe o see meeting bia ni wompo aye friend wa ase ono so mfre obia meeting se oni ni di nkomo e wo de kokuom aka kire say you have to do this for me contract where I am interested or say or catch Ghana for say he has no role to play when it comes to upstream contract signing. 2. The ministry would like to know if the said Kevin Taylor is aware of any instance where in previous administrations, the minister responsible for petroleum signed and or approved the billions of dollars of contracts awarded by Tullow in the development of the Jubilee and 10 fields. If that was not the case, why would he assert same against the current energy minister? Into the Napo kanano no or say Kevin Taylor asma obusamene say that bay na meti say Tullow and then the partners sign contract bia Ghana buying sebio omo mo hwe fango any sebio omo a omo hwe ni dibire no bibia no mo hwe no or say that ben ye ti bi da say yes sign this contract na Tullow and the partners sign contract Ghana buying hu bomu. Remember the partners to Tullow GMPC GMPC Ghana owned yedia but Napo say obusa Ghana for no obusa me say that ben yeti that say Tullow and then the partners the Cosmos and the petroleum SA for no sign contractor Ghana representative bia and I say Ghana buying through the energy ministry the omo ho afrefrim. Second question obusa me no me yini nyina no ama no. 3. if the consideration of personal gain attributed to Dr. Prempeh and also funding the NPP 2024 campaign alluded to by said Kevin Taylor as the basis for his particular contract is anything substantial to go by, then that logic falls ab initio, because Mr. Yevon Asafo-Adjei, who the said Kevin Taylor mentioned to be involved in the said deal, has stronger ties to the NDC than the NPP. He is reputed to be the son of one Nana Asafo-Adjei, who for many years served as the managing director of GMPC under the Mills Mahama administration. Or say, a year in summer Kevin Taylor nyina se ono Napo akwaje contract. Wako sign contract dia manipa bi a ebeno a obenya ho faso dia o se ene nka sa na ye kan dia nipa na me bo ni din a ye frɛ no Yevon YVON sa na opeso frɛ na Yevon Adjei no o se sa nipa na me bo ni din no sa nipa no ne papa ye NDC ni inti sa ne papa ye NDC ni a ende na dia me kan kyerɛ sɛ contract na adwurum na omudi no eye NDC for na edi dwurum no nti eye den na ono de at the end of the day no sa adwurum no me de ne ho ebe frafra ho nti say NDC ni dia there is no way ono obetumi di sa abone no na po person kyerɛ sɛ nipa na me bo ni di no because he has connections to NDC no kyerɛ sɛ sa akro no kon ho a ono ekoso a ono na po there is no way obenya the interest wom time me ye show no mambo obia party card wa ha me bo individuals me bo abrante bi din Yevon na pose sa abrante na bo ni din no eno na hia no enti insem na me ka fa ho ni nyina me sa bo Bamti din Bamti Ekufo Adonua Panyini Napo ignored Bamti's name. Me bo Kema Napo ignored his name. Napo only dwelled on one person in the whole thing. Me didn't din ye bait yaka so bi din ye bait a be de to dawa esa okochinam na wode de worm ana sonsono ahye de eye hook na no na wode atum sa sonsono na de show hook na fe no ye fe no bait ye fe no hook na no ene na wode be che enam no o say he's dwelling only on that name no sa din no e kire say sa nipa no papa na first we juma GMPC nti there's no way sa ono Napo no one NDC for be business nti omo na ya akromfo. Okay, I get it. Now yentwa Napo statement no so. This is the second part of Napo's statement. I hope I read the first part, everything in there. Okay. This is Napo's, also, this statement, the fourth point in it. Okay, there's the fourth point. 4. It certainly cannot be the suggestion of the said Kevin Taylor that the energy minister is in collusion with persons, including the said Yevon Asafo-Adjei, who is strongly related to the NDC with the aim of funding the NPP 2024 campaign. Or say, eye den ono Napo one NDC ni ekoka omontuma ba no na omoko wia Ghana sika edeko fund the NPP campaign. Inti eno krampo kire se ontumi bo kro no Napo na adwene no na hwene ene na adwene enye pe Napo adwene sua na hwene so. Or say, as far as abrante na mebo ni Yevon no ne papa NDC ni a ono Napo no emfa Yevon no eden emfa ne party card meche no. Say, as far as ono nim so mo NDC for no there's no way ono Napo ene ono sa Yevon no anase ne papa no ebeka mu tira bom edupi Ghana eda koy fund NPP campaign na ye ko wia sika e wo mayanka na ye che wia akromfo de odu sika ko e de obinim me say sa akromfo mienu wura asori de nom ko wia sofu sika epia bonte no mo ya akromfo 9 na ye che sika no na obi afa ne de obididi de ko ye de fa ho so obididi de ko boja ntra e na obididi ne ko support campaign e fa ho obetumi ni NDC ni aye deal na waji wusika na wo de akoye wo campaign na NDC de ne so akoye ne campaign ana bewa nti I just want Napo to understand na hwene so na adwini so but I'll respond to all these things. Now number 5, the contracting in the upstream sector goes through a rigorous and thorough technical and commercial assessment and evaluation process by the operator before recommendations are made. to the other partners who in turn conduct their own independent assessment and evaluation prior to the approving contracts. That process is not subject to government control. This point 5 is very important. Or say, contract go through a lot of rigorous process. In fact, Tullow ne call for eyo omwankasa due diligence, eyo omwankasa research, eyo omwankasa background checks, and sana eyo individual partners no ayo nyina de na eyo aban Ghana aban de, they have no role. Remember, make sure say partners no, there is Cosmos, there is Tullow, there is Petroleum SA, there is GMPC, there are other people. GMPC is Ghana in there. And they say, oh, catch them say, Tullow and the partners, including GMPC, are having meetings. Technically, Tullow is having meetings with the Ghana government. Anybody who represents GMPC at that meeting as partners to Tullow, that meeting, that person is representing the people of Ghana. It does not matter the shares of GMPC. But as far as there is a representative from Ghana, the government of Ghana, an appointee, somebody working in the name of Ghana, being part of the partners of Tullow, that means there's a representation of Ghana in that meeting. In Napo, you are telling us to say the rigorous process, no, GMPC also did say, meaning the government of Ghana, which you head the energy ministry, might, Minka say, you are, might, at this point, might be aware of this in quote, rigorous process. Rigorous, that's how you call it. I'll answer this question. Number 6. Even a request by government is furtherance of its policy to broaden the scope of Ghanaian participation in the upstream space does not influence the rigorous technical and commercial assessment and evaluation undertaken by the operator and its partners in the upstream contracting space. Even a request by government in furtherance of its policy to broaden. So Napo is making you understand that still, even though the government plays no role, no, or say a buying kura and I say or beka bibia for one, not just say or press a year process no be transparent. Say the Ghanaian companies too can be considered to take up this kind of contract. And he's trying to carve a niche. He's trying to create a window. Say one way or the other, no. The government of Ghana and his ministry, they can throw in a question there. And they can also suggest, meaning they have influence. Meaning his ministry can influence that process. But he is playing with words. He is playing with words because when he said Ghana for be Jimmy, he is basically telling you that he can influence it. But I'll answer this. Number 7, this was the case during the Mills Mahama administration when billions of dollars in contracts were awarded in the development of Jubilee, Tain, and Sankofa fields by Tullow and its partners and ENI respectively, and has remained the case under the Akufo-Addo administration. Any suggestion to the contrary will be nothing but mischief calculated to tarnish the reputation of people in political authority, and same ought to be dismissed with the contempt that it deserves. It will be inconceivable for government to dictate award of contract by private companies, especially international oil companies. And I'm very interested in this seventh point. I say a tiamra say abai ebe dictate ama a private company, especially international oil companies, when it comes to contracts, awarding of contract. Monfa epin and what's number 7 way mu. Or say on one that means Napo knows the law. Napo knows the rules. Say any ministry na anase abino interfere in contract awarding of contract by international oil companies like Tullow, like Cosmos, like Petro SA, like the other international companies we are working with. Sound number 7 were very important because I'll answer Napo. All right. Number 8, a cursory evaluation by any objective mind, which we don't have, will certainly expose the total lack of substance in the claims by the said Kevin Taylor. It is nothing different from his proven modus operandi to always cause dissatisfaction for government officials and the entire MPP government in satisfaction of his paymasters. More so given the proximity to the 2024 elections. Or say, adia me ye nyina no, me ye egu MPP ni mase. If we said ye me ye no, and then the strategy anu de bia no, me pese nipa tan MPP. Send ye be ya amanfo enkon endo MPP. Na the man ye hun krampo say, ma twɛn ma election time oba bedru ma ka bosumi nsia no, and amakofa asem we aba. Nti o se asem we de mamo bi angindi. Napo na no brofo eno no. Number 9, on the plain reputational onslaught, the said Kevin Taylor mounts on Dr. Prempeh, specifically impugning criminality on him. Impugning criminality on him, the minister's legal team will resort to necessary legal remedy in due course. Or see, the mekeka ene ensamna mekaya no, or no napo, ne lawyers ebesiu me. And then kind of brofotin no or say from the American no efa deal we want sebio or semi tran trato no so and then aban so no or say on the lawyers say o matena say o mo dwene ho say o mo ba be sumi ana say o me sumi o Ghana enti we will meet in court no na o ka kire wo what's bia court. All right. Number 10, the general public on the back of the above facts is respectfully entreated to ignore these false claims and treat them with the total contempt they deserve. And Kofi Ebrifa Ifena, communication specialist, stroke press aide to the minister. Inti Napo ene hu frema egu abrante wenum se omehu nkyereye. Napo ene tuntosuo gu nenum. Eno ka se ntosuo na watogu abrante nenum no. Abrante na spokesperson to ono metu tan tosuo no nkyereye. Enti ntosuo na wote free abrante we Napo num. Enti se bon wa Napo num na bon. Na mama yenko dwumade ne so. Enti se agarafo nyine hu response na Napo de ma me se mabeka asem. Enti obeko court. Inti ende no my imagine say be magana for nyine the kind of person he is, the ministry he's heading, and some companies that are in connivance with him and are omudidi bone ewo Ghana. Mr. P. Yeah, I think Spider is not around. When he gets the notification, he will switch radio. Yeah, Spider is not around. All right, thank you, Mr. S. So now let's do the do. Mama yenye ejuma na nkasa. Na yenhwe se nsema mbeka ye no na eni ejina so a afina mebe kire contract no. Omo ye involved. Any dwirima omo do. Meba America say $204 million. Contract na nkasa over $450 million plus. Now let's do the do. Now this is it. I am breaking down a ye Tullow and ote a ye partners any ade. Now, Tullow Oil, a significant player in Ghana's oil and gas sector, collaborates with various partners in the upstream petroleum industry to build a better future through responsible oil and gas development. So, like I said, Tullow, a partners on the partners. This is basically the Tullow here. It is a ustadia. When you look on the screen, this is basically the job of Adikudientia Tullow, our partners. Omoboa ema eposu juma anase undersea job no etumi koso. Now me betchau partners ni nyina Tullow one. Now osa ebie another one you will see a year Cosmos Energy, almost your partners to Tullow. Inti Tullow Oil works closely with Cosmos Energy, also a significant player in Ghana's oil and gas sector, on various projects including oil fields offshore Ghana. So Tullow and Cosmos, sometimes they come together, they do a juma together, a ponoso, and offshore they come together, they are partners, they work together sometimes. Inti yeka partners na the contract no ema this our contract my company na meka ho asem no partners no na make no these are the partners. Now this company too, this one too is a partner, Jubilee Oil Holdings. Tullow is part of the Greater Jubilee Oil Fields project, and Jubilee Oil Holdings is one of its partners in this venture. In the contract, Jubilee Oil Holdings almost a partner in this contract. So you can see for yourself, Tullow is part of the Greater Jubilee Oil Fields project, and Jubilee Oil Holdings is one of its partners in this venture. I want you to follow. We come into this your cover page and I say screen in your to me so far I've given you some of the partners. Now this is another partner, PETRO-SA. PETRO-SA, a South African state-owned oil company, is another partner in Tullow's upstream activities. Their joint effort contribute to the growth of Ghana's oil and gas industry. So PETRO-SA too is another partner in this whole deal. So as you can see on the screen, you can follow what we are doing. Now, the next partner, GNPC. GNPC. Now, GNPC, Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, is a state-owned entity responsible for managing Ghana's petroleum resources. Tullow collaborates with GNPC to enhance exploration, production, and overall sector development. Partners. So when you ask me about a contract, when I'm in the bar together as partners, say Omobabe signed this $450 million contract. These group of companies, they came together to put this contract together for a company to go on inside, and I say upstream, to go inside the ocean and to do some maintenance and some serious work on person of the moment. Now, opesa o share a year almost shares when they come together as partners. Shares are obiawo, and why some people are powerful when it comes to making decisions. It is a study upstream petroleum sector. No, Tullow Oil 35 to 47%. Jubilee Holdings 23 to 34%. PETRO-SA 3% to 5%. Cosmos Energy 17 to 20%. And a GNPC 10 to 15%. When you break it down to by strength, every partner, to make it easy for you, to say, we munina atisika akotoka. Omotoka no and almost say, Kano, ye pese ye dema edien Tullow. Because Tullow no can ye koton 100 Ghana, Tullow nkwandi sikabe 40 Ghana na buy, almost 50 Ghana. Inti ye de kana sha Tullow nsa. Now Tullow ene wose ekofa mate, ekofa driver. Inti se eba the decision making, any picking or leading that contract and getting an operator to come and do that job. Normally no, Tullow leads the partners. Inti de so munyina jijiska. And I'm ama Tullow. And Tullow say, okay, me na mi kesiye, me na mi bedi enim ako high driver, ako high mates. Na yede car na amomo. Now, remember. Okay, I get it. Now remember, car na omakotono. Se ekaba car no wa, eye Tullow ene beba the rest of the partners no wabeka chom say, oh, car na momo toy na enyina toy na mo de ma driver ni mate no. Ekaba car no ho. Inti ye hia 200 Ghana ako solve edien ebi a windshield ba kwa pai. Then all the edien partners no do also come together and bring money and give to Tullow. Tullow will now take it and give it to a company to solve that problem or car no ho. Inti majority of the time no, depending on the contract no, you could see say osha shares na. Depending on the contract, normally, Tullow gets a lot of their shares. Depending on the contract, they could get 47%. Jubilee could get 34%. PETRO-SA could get 5%. The Cosmos Energy could get 20%. And a GNPC could get 15%. And he said, Ocean Sana, say Tullow and its partners. That means Tullow and then the partners about together ebeto saka no de ma Tullow no Tullow ne kwakofa driver Tullow ne kwakofa mate inti Tullow and they lead the contract who qualifies to be given the contract to go and perform that duty. And into the BS Tullow and its partners. Tullow and its partners. It is Tullow who has a bigger share. Now, the only partner or woman obetumi ama decision making aya din ama Tullow Cosmos. Now, say Tullow ba no ka say oh bogus car na ekoto na me de ma driver ni mate no car no problem aba ho nti 1,000 Ghana na say Cosmos ka say in chechirem na Tullow wo chechirem no mentiase a Tullow cannot at the end of the day raise money to go give to mechanic ni on solve and driver ni on koye car no nti the role of Cosmos Energy is very important because Tullow ekwa bontene se okwa akoyi a company says our company na enko perform duty no upstream without the full consent of Cosmos because Cosmos no after Tullow more bigger shares if they say no Tullow cannot move ahead so every single time no what Tullow needs to do is say the other shareholders are Petro SA GMPs no Tullow has to do everything possible to get them on his side or on its side so that at least Cosmos will see, say, if all these people have come together, any Jubilee, they have come together to say it is good, we should pay money to go and solve the car, fix the car. Then Cosmos will be like, okay, because my colleagues are all saying, so almost why you're independent research, everything is fine. Huh? Let us give you the money. Into the role of Cosmos is very vital when it comes to awarding contracts to companies to go perform duties and I say some contract upstream. Into do not count out Cosmos. Cosmos is a very huge shareholder in this whole thing. I hope so what you say. Now, young queen. I'm schooling Napo, me besa Napo tiasie say ehwene kese yemfa nje awo. Now, Shade. You see this. These two gentlemen, their names are Stephen Kema. And the other one on the right, say on the left, your friend Yvonne Asafu Ajayi. These two gentlemen, Omunomuti company, your friend Genesis Oil and Gas Services. These two men you are seeing on the screen, they are the men behind a company. Ghana, your friend, Genesis Oil and Gas Services. Stephen Keme and Yvonne Asafu Ajayi. These are two Ghanaians. And this expose, they will be playing a very important role. Do not forget their names. Because at a point, at a point, some people will take over their names. When you're very smart, you might think, say, they are missing. Especially the one on the right called Yvonne Asafu Ajayi. He might at a point disappear, but he's still in the picture. Say, Unima, Ebia, Mwa Monsharam follow international contracts. There are people who are in contract, but you don't see them on paper. And Nuntina, Napo Ekasano, he decided not to speak on anything, but he wanted to do politics. Into the no okay, you say NDC Niba, NDC Nina Papa, but he did not want to answer the questions I was asking him. Into these two gentlemen are very important gentlemen from D2 team. Stephen Kema and Yvonne Asafu Ajayi. These two men, Omunomuti company of Genesis Oil and Gas Services. Now, so Genesis Oil and Gas Services, a company, these two gentlemen, I'm going to tell you. See this. Also, don't forget, you will not get confused. Now, abbreviations and acronyms. OT ISOL, and ISOL, a Intersol Sapura Offshore Limited, a company, meboni dimpa a lot. And a OT company, meboni dimpa more, a IESL, Intersol Engineering Services Limited. These two companies, their names will be coming up a lot of the times. Maybe when we move along, make both company we no one will say, oh, okay, we're na Kevin Chair. Maybe IESL, it is Intersol Engineering Services Limited. And maybe ISOL. Do not forget. ISOL, Intersol Superior Offshore Limited. And IESL, Intersol Engineering Services Limited. These two companies, I'll be mentioning them a lot. Baby Napo be among friend mbra. So now I'm about show connection between the two gentlemen I showed you their pictures. Keme, Stephen Keme, and Javon Ajayi. Maybe show how they are connected and why they are powerful and why we have to be very careful. And that was so easy. Now you see this. Let me show you Bumpty connection. What makes Keme, Stephen Keme powerful, and what makes Yevon. Maybe I make sure. Now, there's a man called David Walters. His name is the Godfather, sorry. Our friend Uncle Dave. There's a reason why we did not put this picture up, because it is part of a document we are taking to the UK. We decided to take his picture out. And not because he's special or he knows anybody. No. There's a reason. The man be a friend of David Walters. Ne God's son, any Stephen Kema. Now, David Walters, his wife's sister, David Walters, ne wife, ne sister, any Bumpty yere. That is how the connection between David Walters, Bumpty, and Kema. So, Kema knows Bumpty through Mr. Walters, through the wives. Mr. Walters, wafa Kema no as his godson. Now, Mr. Walters, ne yiri nuya any Bumpty yere. That is how Kema is connected to power. Technically, all the work at Kema Stephen Kema he is doing it for Bumpty and David Walters. And Bumpty is the brother to Ekufuado. Bumpty is the brother to Ekufuado. Napo takes instructions from Bumpty. Where the link is from and who are the people behind the contract I'm about to break down. Sir Stephen Kema and the Godfather and David Walters. David Walters ne yire enuya ene Bumpty yire. That is how David Walters and Bumpty are friends and they do a lot of business together. Now, Kema, at the end of the day, the contractor Kema Ebenyano, it is for Bumpty. And Bumpty, Napo take instructions free Bumpty. Bumpty, ninuya ene Ekufuado. I've mentioned his name several times. That is what make Stephen Kema powerful. And Nintina Napo releases statement, he never mentions Stephen Kema. Because the moment he mentions Stephen Kema, he's mentioning Bumpty and Walters. So Napo statement I'm reading now. Obo Javon Ajayi, he never mentioned Stephen Kema. Because Stephen Kema is part of Napomo clique. They are working through Stephen Kema to get this deal. And he avoided the name of Stephen Kema, but he was so excited to say, Javon Ajayi Papa NDC ni or a former GMPC boss. That is why he refused to mention this guy's name. Now, I'm sure. We are moving forward slowly. Now, these two gentlemen, they have formed a company together before. Some also they have formed a company before and a contract before. Now, this is what they have been able to secure in 2021. Javon's connection nie. Into Javon na down for pa any Kema. Javon na po eka sene papa NDC. His good friend is Kema. Kema's godfather is Walters. Walters' best friend is Bumpty. Napo takes instructions from Bumpty. Now, Mamenchamo, the connection between Kema and Asafo Ajayi and Asa Yvonne. Now, the two of them, they were partners in the company. I'm sure a friend of Genesis Oil and Gas Services. Mokaisa company, These two people were partners. They got a contract in 2021. Now, Genesis Oil and Gas Services was awarded the pipe supply scope. That is circa $150 million in 2021. But they could not perform the contract. They could not perform to work scope. So these two gentlemen, in 2021, they secured what we call a pipe supply scope contract na $150 million. That one is there. We will deal with it. That one is a different matter. But I want you to know the connection between the connection between Stephen Kema and Yvonne Ajayi. And for now, between I establish him say Yvonne and Stephen are business partners. Now, this contract they secured na omumienu and a company dia and omuji. All right. Now, when it comes to the company I told you about, IESL, Mokai. Now, sa company no, any, Mamen Chiro, Kema, the strength. Now, Yvonne Ajayi is not directly related to IESL, but holds heavy sway in the decision making and running of the company. After almost secures our first $150 million contract from the gas company now, Stephen Kema ebete a company called Intersol Engineering Solutions Limited. And to remember, my member, the first company now $150 million contract, which is this contract? No, which is this contract? No, yes, this contract. No, that contract. No, and this guy called Stephen Kema, Ekoti IESL. In Sisiano, Okoti sa company no. Now abaya a different company on its own, right? In the first company, $150 million, no, with that bad record that to me put execute contract, there was a reason for them to put up a different company. So they came up with a different company. In fact, they came up. Stephen Kema came up with a different company called IESL. Now, when the company was registered, this IESL, when it was registered first, the directors of the company, two people. It was Stephen Kema and Bernard Kema. So, IESL, when they registered it in 2018, the directors were two. Na Stephen and Nia Boy, directors. But when they were about to secure a new contract, they updated the directors of the company. TMEA. They updated the directors of the company. Why would Stephen take his brother out and update the directors? It means, say, the new contract that is about to happen, Stephen is a small screen. They needed somebody from higher power to come and sit on that company as a director so that at the end of the day, he will represent the big boys. So they know that the only person who could do that is Yvonne. But they could not put Yvonne's name there. Because all the Yvonne didn't be shower. When it's going through the rigorous checks, say, Enkofo your mom contract that. Now, I'm record to saying that gas contract at $150 million, were they able to complete? Amount for Bewu said, these are the same two people. I'm at $150 million a year. I don't know, and this one Saba. And what they did is, this IESL, they updated the directors and changed the directors to the Samuel Abra Ejay, Stephen Kema. Into Stephen Kema Nyani Friho, and this Samuel Beshaho. Let me tell you, Samuel is the same Yvonne. Samuel no Shahono, a dear Shawkeke, but Samuel still represents Bamtimo. Samuel still represent Yvonne. Samuel still represent Ayer Waters. And they just put Samuel Abra AJ there so that it will not be too obvious to say Stephen Keman and a brother Abeti IESL Saba Beji contract. Right now, no omo the contract na Emma Stephen no. They told Stephen say yen to mean tam sika kakraka we ma abra company no yen representation also. You brother ni free so na fa yen nipa ebesiwo. Ya bema we din bia ma o de ahye but that name it is us. Inti sadi na hu no say eye Samuel Abreje no. That name is technically say uyi small screen free wa Yvonne Ajayi. So, Osha address ni pay attention to the address. You could see, say, it is the same thing. they just do some small updates at the same thing. On say time ana oni ninuano ewo address no omo ye no. Now check it updated one omo 2021. They updated the company directors any addresses in 2021 because they were about to secure this contract we are going to talk about. You could see that the address, everything is the same. They just changed the name. Now, afena yebe discuss current contract. And as a contract existed at that. And sani about contract mobile sign so. Mr. P. All right, now. There's something I need to show you. Currently, as we speak, in 2021, Stephen Kema on a company called ISOL. They partnered. ISOL ni international company. Abruchini Fribaye. Local representative and I say local partners. For some reason, it was IESL, which was put together by Stephen Kema. Remember, Stephen enya one Yevon enya $150 million contract pipe supply. I know they don't change, but I'm a person who connection between Stephen and Yevon. Now, for some reason in 2021, Stephen IEL's company any ISOL ebe ye joint venture and omutuminya a contract na sa contract na ye IMR and then they friend inspection, maintenance, repair. And then the picture I'm lecturing on. So they secured that contract. Now, the 2021 contract existed. Remember, that contract it will end 1st August 2024. It was signed in 2021, and the contract as we speak, a year. So 2024, August 1st, in the contract, is still in existence. The contract is still working. The contract has issues. At this point, contract you sign another contract until the contract fine. Contract value in 2021. Sa ejuma contract we the same contract and makers and Napo ebe signing new different in prices. Now here in 2021 when they signed this contract. That's what you see. Contract value in 2021. The current subsea engineering installation and IMR service contract was awarded to Intersol Sapura Offshore Limited, ISO, in 2021 at a contract value of 90 million, including fuel costs, which is the effect cost to partners. Without fuel, it's 56 million. Now, in 2021, Tullow and then the partners at the contract ISOL. ISOL local partners IESL, which belongs to Kema. Right. Now our contract your friend subsea engineering installation and IMR services contract. Basically IMR services contract upstream. Now contract nankasa contract was worth 90 million overall. Now 90 million na contract nankasa 90 million na contract ankasa 56 million. Now normally say Tullow and the partners and the Cosmos, Jubilee, GMPC, Petro SA. So our contracts now what they do is they pay for the fuel you will use upstream. Into normally contract 56 million. Now almost sama or Petro Sika or the buyer contract Into normally when they put the two together and then amount ebia a round value of $90 million. Into realistically 2021 contract now ISOL in partnership with IESL, the contract was 56 million. But when it comes to Petro Sika and my contract could do $90 million. In 2021, this job we are talking about now, contracted that where exists now $90 million. So we petrol ni sika di free ma $56 million contract na nkasa no. Petrol ni beka ho na $90 million. Now, my mention technicalities be too about this. Normally, when they are going upstream, and that's so there are two types of vessels. And a ship I'm using, and machines now I'm using. Now, your modern one consume less fuel, and your old ones consume a lot of fuel. Now, in this contract, the reason why you are seeing say contract nanka say 56 million. Now a year fuel using a year around 40 something million. And they say they were using the new vessel to do the job. Into the fuel consumption was less. And every company, especially Tullow, leading his partners, the main idea and they say they will save money. They will save money and they will save the environment. In 2021, time on the contract ma ISOL, any IESL, no, they used the newer vessel. So you could see, say, the amount of fuel they put in, no, it wasn't that much. Into na mutia sa sikarma contract something na ebe 90 million. Into tia say contractor Napo edi any mama sign for the same work, the same work scope and change here the same thing. Now I mention what there. The current contractor almost sign no. Munchiro. Now, 1 second. Yes. Now let's come to the Eddie controversy when you know. Now yatia and yati said Tullow Eddie contracts ama IESL nkwa. Remember, ISOL any IESL contract na omukodi juma we personal the upstream job no it will end August 1st. Mameka bibinchiro ISOL any IESL current contractor omuye. What is happening in the say? What is happening in the say? IESL omu abrofono company ISOL any omu be partner ebe yesa contract no. Tullow aboka bebre because IESL for no, they don't have the financial capability, they don't have the technical capability. Into ama ISOL for abro for no mobile form partners no omni omujuma no. Ama contract current contract we crampo no. The way it's supposed to go, no, it is not going the same way. Ama Tullow any IESL for no any problem. Akachromo say they cannot be partners to ISOL. Abra ejuma omu yana ejuma ninsenia at the end of the day. Tullow and its partners are even losing money. Into also say the current contract that is $90 million. No, Tullow has raised concerns. Tullow and his partners have raised concerns and say a year IESL or partner ISL no IESL for a chemical company no they are not technically they are not strong. Financially they are not strong. They don't know anything and they are dragging the ISOL for no into a jumano mo yene krampo no and to me go smooth. Emma Tullow boka into one. Tullow knows to say IESL is a company that is not efficient. Tullow and its partners know say IESL currently in the contract they are in now they are not even delivering. Tullow knows say IESL for no omni ISOL omo partnership no omo breaking no. Even though the contract hasn't ended, ISOL omo international company omo befa ISEL as partners a Ghanaian company no omo relationship with IESL Kema company no it is already on rocks. Company no kroma separate omo and still omo ye adwuma we nti at this point no Tullow knows all these things happening. Tullow knows to say IESL Kema and Abam Timo company no it is not efficient, it is not effective. Now Shadie contract way end there. So $90 million contract way it will end on the 1st of August 2024. It will end on the 1st of August 2024. Shadie Mamencho. The contract they want to sign, the estimated cost of the contract is $204 million. Share. And I will meet Napo in any court. Now, the fuel part of the contract, no, and my this new contract, almost signing on the 1st of August, no. Almost say almost be contingency fund $25 million. And no, almost miscellaneous. Be to me see normally a solve problem into almost partners, no. Tullow for a $25 million at all. And our projected fuel cost $250 million. The first contract no August no. This is the same contractor IESL quatin with free IOSL eba. And so fuel cost projection $250 million. The contract itself is $200 million. Oma to be a friend contingency fund of $25 million. Now you know what? On paper, they have maxed the the fuel cost. And I want to say this. I'm asking Tullow a question. They are the leaders when it comes to any partners. Has Tullow showed its partners that the fuel cost is $250 million? We want to know. Because on the face of the contract, you could see, say, a Juma OBG contract from 2001 to August 2021 to August 2024. 1st August, no, it was 90 million. The contract itself was 56 million. And a fuel came in at 45. The same contract that is going to be given to the same company that is not delivering, IESL that is not delivering. They are now saying, say, IESL contract is 204 million. There is 25 million contingency fund, and fuel costing you 250 million, making it 450 million plus. Now you are getting it. These are all facts. That's why I'm saying I'm going to school Napo tonight, or your Cronfor. His influence at the oil companies, the ministry, the government is bad. And some of the oil companies are supposed to take blame for this. But you drew Ibekan Wasem. Inti, Mamen Chow, and the Kudienta and some Napo show on the book and the story Munina and Kwasiasem, Mechich Macho. Now, my uncle in Namen Chow, dear, Intesia Atiasie, ISOL, international company, a winnie contract to come work upstream. Amoba Ghana and local cap partners, IESL. And that company belongs to who? Kema. Kema, his boss is Walters and Bumpty. Napo takes instructions from Bumpty, who is a Kufuor's brother. Now the contract they are still working on, end the 1st of August, no, that contract has issues. Tullow is paying penalties because they are not doing the work well. Tullow knows that IESL is a bad company. Now, ISOL ombefa IESL no omunya problem ema omunya put separation about before the contract ends. Tullow knows all these things. Tullow led his partners. Now they want to give this contract a new one, a similar contract, but the value now has jumped from 90 million to 450 million. Fuel cost alone is now 250 million. Just 2021 fuel cost was how much? It was 45 million. Now let's go into what is ahead. Let's read the Petroleum Regulations 2013 LI. Now Ghana create Petroleum Regulations and what does it actually say? And what is the ministry supposed to do? And what are the oil companies supposed to do? Especially Tullow, Cosmos, and the rest of its partners, what are they supposed to do? Because Ekrobia edemra seba fango and the oil to edemra and two. Now let's read this. Petroleum Regulations 2013 LI 2204. If an energy company intends to enter into a contract with a value greater than $100,000, they are required to submit their procurement plans to the Petroleum Commission. This requirement ensures transparency, accountability, and effective management of procurement processes within the industry. Inti Emrana Chrese say yebema contract in the petroleum sector. This is the LI, and it states it clearly. Say yeba bema energy company. And remember, Tullow and its partners are energy companies. Some of you imagine say bema contract biya ebro 100,000. Ghana Brano, the airline, 2013 airline state say they are required to submit their procurement plans to the Petroleum Commission. Now, when the value is there, it is more than 100,000, meaning when the contract is over $100,000, I was say Tullow for the contract no procurement process ni nyina ye de kwachire the Petroleum Commission. Now, the reason why intia emrane chesa says send be ya ebeboa ema den eye pepeyo send be ya eye sebio eye company say be yi omo no e de contract na omo no eye ketahye bia mbem a emu beda ho fine. Now remember, me catch them in my expose say the energy ministry led by Napo, Kema, and Yvonne disguised as Samuel, no, and then also some oil companies. Yes, sorry, I and say for the first time in the history of a year Ghana energy sector, the contracts through Tullow and its partners. Tullow the contract Amma through the energy ministry the contract Amma IESL, and that contract wasn't a competitive bid. It wasn't an open bid. Not a sole source. Now here, remember ISOL and IESL contract who mean and papa Tullow and him say IESL is bad news. Omama Tullow and the partners squared in Cabo Cap before this contract is about to end. But for some reason, Tullow asa akako pick the same IESL and technically did not open any bid, handpicked them and said, take this contract, $450 million. Now, Sir Oko Asia, this is Tullow's own document, and this document is from Tullow. And the Tullow wants to contest that, they can contest this document. It is not me. For years and years, Tullow has been abiding by the rules and regulations. Anytime they want to pick a company, they basically, what the LI, and I say Ghana branch and say, and our Petroleum Commission branch and say, companies register, they submit their procurement, their documents into Oho. So there's nothing like CKŞ0sęs for over 12 years. Yes, how did it be? Now, look at this document. This document is Tullow's document. Well, all the operations and logistics, these are contracts Tullow and its partners have given to companies or are preparing to give to companies. Now, when you look at a procurement method, a competitive tender, provision of subsea construction vessel with engineering and installation services. This is the new contractor they are about to give out. Now, Ushe Asiawa on Tullow's computers and their system, no, it is supposed to be a competitive tender. I will say other companies, indigenous companies, they are all supposed to be able to compete for this particular job. But for some reason, on their system, it shows competitive. But when you get out of their system, today we have been told that IESL, through the Minister of Energy and Tullow, they have been handpicked. They have been given what we call CKŞ0sęs opportunity. So they have handpicked IESL. But this is Tullow's own document. On the document, you can see the list of companies. All these companies have the right to bid for this particular contract. Because you can see down there that it is a competitive tender. And these are previous ones they've done. They have current ones. So what happened for Tullow? For some reason, Tullow leading his partners or its partners, decided to choose IESL. They have not even proven themselves. IESL, Omama Tullow, Aboka. IESL, they are still in a contract that they are not efficiently delivering. This should tell you, say, something is going on at our top war when it comes to Tullow leadership. When it comes to how contracts today are being awarded. Tullow is going against the Petroleum Commission or the ally in Ghana. Because for about 12 years now, we have never seen this kind of hand-picking process from Tullow. What is forcing Tullow to handpick IESL to go and do this job. Abra, they are still in this contract. Even they and their partners, because of their inefficiency, because of their technical the technical capabilities they don't have, their financial capability being very low, they are even having issues. That is why ISOL is now breaking up with them. What will make Tullow still go pick a company that is inefficient, a company that is incompetent, a company that cannot pull its weight? I hope everybody understands. Now I'm going to break it down. That's why I'm saying this segment is bigger than Ghana. We are looking international. We are looking at our deep waters. Maybe a ACC or so. That is why I'm saying some of the documents, names, facts are yet to me are intercepted. We are taking it to the London Stock Exchange because Tullow is on the London Stock Exchange. And we know there are some other companies there. So the British media, we have our correspondents there. They want the documents so that people at Tullow will be questioned. Mr. S. Okay, thank you, Mr. P. Now, let's move on. You see this document, document you are. All right. This document is a document that we extracted from Tullow. It is their own document. And Napo said they have no interference. They have nothing. Maybe we start Napo questions at the end of the day. And I'll ask Tullow some questions because they need to answer. Now you see this document on the screen. These are C extract from Tullow Ghana's own RTA document. Now I'm reading via Mechech. This is a document the MD and of Tullow Ghana, they have signed it. They signed this report. It is with them. So they know this document is with them. Now, Uridi point 1.2.4. Hear what is there. Whilst the contract strategy set out the intent to run a competitive tender exercise, the supply chain team were asked by the Ghana managing director to enter into further negotiations with IESL to determine if a direct contract could be negotiated that achieved. Remember, whilst the contract strategy set out the intent to run a competitive tender exercise, the supply chain team were asked by the Ghana managing director, who is the Ghana managing director of Tullow. You will go there. And this document is from Tullow. This document is not from me. Now, Ufri Sala Nauba 8.2 Asieho. It says this. Senior officials of the Ghana government, listen. Senior officials of the Ghana government approached the unit operator on separate occasions expressing a preference that the subsea vessel contract should be extended with IESL. Some things have been deducted. We've deliberately, maybe a year from because it's very sensitive. It is going to the UK. Now, achieved without a tender, it will be given consideration. So, in their own report, which has been signed by the MD of Tullow, I'll show you his picture. I'll show you the CEO's picture. They have stated in the RTA documentation that government officials approached Tullow and approached their operators, the unit operator, and insisted that the contract that is about to be signed from the 1st of August, it should be given to IESL that is in the current contract that is not delivering. That their partner, that is ISOL, has even broken up with them because the IESL, they don't have the capabilities. They don't have the capabilities to perform that job. So, as we speak today, who are the government officials who were giving the unit operators pressure to pick or handpick or expressing a preference that IESL should be given that contract? I've not even gotten to the duration of the contract. We will talk about that. From the own document, a free a year they Tullow, and they have it. They have these facts. I'm not making it up. Their own RTA document shows to say government of Ghana officials were seriously involved in the sole sourcing, in the handpicking of IESL. IESL belongs to Kema. His partner is Yvonne. They take their instructions from Walter and Bumpty. Napo takes instructions from Bumpty. Bumpty is a Kufuor's brother. Don't forget this. That's why I'm saying it is very technical. Why you're smarter, they will lie to you, wouldn't know. Because Omo Yidin be a film. And now Omo Mama Jenny said there's no. We are talking about $450 million plus. Napo knows about it. Now, these are the CEOs of Tullow and the MD. So the men you are seeing on the screen, we are asking them simple questions. Do they have knowledge about the document I put on the screen? Rahul Kumar, Chief Collaborator. Wissam Al-Monthiri, Managing Director. The CEO and the Managing Director. The question we are asking here is, do they have knowledge about this document, the RTA documentations? And also, has Tullow paid some losses, or have they made some losses since the 2021 contract, IMR contract, was signed? Do they have any report on IESL? And why are they insisting that IESL should be given a 4-year contract plus an extension of 1 year? Remember, the new contract they want to sign with this week, Bumpty, Kema, Yvonne, IESL contract, they want to sign with them and say, normally, from the day Tullow Mustati, any of our partners, Ghana, they have signed contract for only 2 years. It has always been 2 years. This IMR or undersea services, it has always been 2 years. For some reason, this particular contract, Napo and Tullow want to sign, it is for 4 years with 1 year extension. Ask yourself what actually called for that. Who basically decided to take that decision? Why is it now 4 years plus an extra 1 year as extension? Because there is an existing contract which IESL is failing to even complete. Now, majority of the time for the past 12 years, contracts have been 2 years. They give the companies 2 years. The reason is that when they give them 2 years, they are bound to finish the job. They are able to monitor. They are able to make sure that it does not do what? It does not run into some political years, so that at least they will be able to monitor. Now, strategically, Napomo have signed the first time in the history of Ghana, sole contract, and also they have signed a 4-year contract with 1 year extension. So Napo Dems are going to opposition. They want to sign a contract and clamp the NDC. When they come to power, NDC cannot cancel this with another extension of 1 year, 2028. Now you get it. So from 2024, 25, 26, 27, contract now ended. Now the contract no Romako 2028. And into my 4 years plus 1 additional year. Now the question to Tullow is, why did they change the original plan of 2 years? Because right now, Tullow is leading this force. It has been 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. What called for that changes, whereby you are going to change the contract from 2 years to 4 years plus additional 1 year? Remember, as we speak, there's no contract, a new contract. We are still in the old contract, the 2021 contract, the 90 million contract. IESL is not even able to do this job. You are talking about 2024 to 2028, then another extra 1 year. So the idea is that they are locking the NDC in. When they even go into opposition, NDC cannot cancel it. And that they'll lock them in with another extra 1 year, 2028. They will come back. And this contract, Napo, behind the scene, leading and acting as if he knows nothing about, Napo knows everything about this contract. The ministry knows everything about this contract. Now let's move forward. Now you see this. Let's read this. Contract duration, 4 years plus 1 year extension. Now, when you read the fact, The duration is inconsistent with past practices and also cost inflated 450 million plus. It enables those involved to exploit the contract as leverage in trading favors with politicians in 2028 elections. So, the reason why the contract has been extended to 4 years and 1 additional year is that some people want to trade favors because we are in election year and they don't know what is going to happen. So they are trying to lock some people in so that it will go in their favor. You see why Napo, when he was writing, he stayed away from the name Keme. He stayed away from the company IESL. He was only on Yvonne because when you go in the document, the registration document, Yvonne's name is not there. Somebody representing Yvonne is called Samuel. He is in there. Now, the Samuel represent Bumpty, but represent the other people because IESL, it was 100% owned by Keme. But Keme, this contract does not belong to him. He's a smoke screen. Keme is just a smoke screen. So they needed somebody to be one of the directors of the IESL because we are now talking about almost $500 million. And you, Keme, you are just lucky that the 2021 contract, you are still in there. So we can use you as the special purpose vehicle to get what we want. So Keme is a vehicle. Keme is part of the clique. Even though Keme does not have the financial capabilities and technical capabilities, they are using some people in government and also trying to use some of the partners to get IESL this contract. When you move forward and you read, you will see, say, I'll come to this matter. Not now. I'll come to this matter. So, what I want you to understand and say, this is not just Ghana. The question goes to Eddie and Tullow. They are the ones leading this contract. They are the ones who are supposed to do the rigorous investigations. They are the ones who are supposed to do all the interviews and then go back to their partners to say these people are qualified. Now, Tullow knows the inefficiencies of IESL. Tullow knows through IESL and ISOL how much money they are losing. What will make Tullow, in the first place, decide to suggest that IESL, which is still in this contract that is not performing, what will make Tullow say they want to give them 4-year contract? The question I'm asking the CEO and the MD who is in Ghana, the Indians, that what influenced that decision? What are their bases that suddenly IESL has to continue the project and that has to be given a 4-year plus 1-year extension? Because on your own system, it is competitive tendering. Now, the LI says that if the contract is over $100,000, you have to make sure there's competitive tendering, because in Ghana, what the Petroleum Commission has done is that all companies that want to get contracts from other multi-million-dollar companies, what they do is they register with the Petroleum Commission. They register, they pay some amount so that when there is a contract, there will be open bid. So that when there's a contract, everybody can bid for that contract. So when you decide to go against your own rules, which is competitive tendering, and at the end of the day, the Petroleum Commission's LI, the LI that Petroleum LI, the Petroleum the LI, the 2204. Why have you? I'm talking about Tullow. Why have you guys decided to go contrary to all these things? Because 1, you need to follow the LI. 2, you also have to make sure that there is transparency in companies that are bidding. 3, you know IESL and SOL are still in this contract, which they are not even delivering. So 4, why so sourcing? So we want to know from Tullow, is there anybody from government influencing their process? Is the government of Ghana influencing? I'm asking Tullow, MD, and the CEO. I don't know. Maybe what I have, I cannot put out now. But we are asking Tullow that, and I'm asking Cosmos, GMPC, Petro SA, Jubilee Thought, do they know what Tullow knows? And did they agree to what Tullow is doing? What is making Tullow take such a decision? What calls for the 4 years plus 1 year extension? What is making Tullow trust IESL so much that it does not want to open bidding? What is making Tullow so confident of giving them 4 years instead of 2 years and adding extra 1 year? What is making Tullow handpick IESL over all the companies that are submitted, registered, paid money to Petroleum Commission, that when there is a bid like that, everybody should be able to bid for it? What has influenced that decision? It's a question that I'm asking the MD of Tullow and also the CEO of Tullow. All right, let me read this to you. And this is the document that we showed you the first day we spoke on this particular scandal. Because remember, I showed you this document, and let me show this before we move forward. This document is a document from Tullow. Okay. The first day I came to speak on this scandal. Contract title, Subsea Engineering Installation, IMR Services. And then contractor, Intersol Engineering Solutions Limited. You can see the contract number, TBC. Contract start date, 1st August 2024. They have awarded the contract. That is why I'm asking, what influenced? Now, contract end date, 1st August 2029. Now, estimated contract value, 204 million. Estimated Jubilee apportionment, 60%. Now, what I was asking is, the 204 million, is that the total value of the contract? Because we know for a fact that the fuel cost is $245 million, not the $204 million, which is the total contract. Now, summary of recommendations, and the recommendation down there says this: it is recommended to award a contract on a single source basis to Intersol Engineering Solutions Limited, IESL, for the provision of subsea engineering installation and IMR services, which shall be based on utilization of the Go Supporter subsea vessel. The new contract shall commence 1st August 2024 for a period of up to 5 years, structured as an initial term of 4 years with an optional 1 year extension. The estimated contract value for the full 5 years was cut there. Now, my question to Tullow, and this question does not go to Tullow alone. The question goes to Tullow and its partners, especially Cosmos. Why 4 years? Why single source? Why sole sourcing? Why 1 year extension? Why IESL? Because in your own RTA, it states that government officials were on your unit operators insisting that they have a preference. And who is that government official? It is Napo. It is a Jubilee House. And it was led by Napo, insisting that IESL, which belongs to Keme, which actually belongs to Bamti, Walters, which belongs to the Ekufuado family, with Yvonne included, that is why you people... Is that the reason why you people are giving this contract to IESL? It's a question I'm asking Tullow. Now, we're going to move forward. After this short break, we will move forward. Tim.
I want to understand something. Is it a project or what are the needs for 12
inherited? Good,
inherited. The question, for the sake of time, a specific question. Then a moment shall see within the 8-year period. Then a mobile 2017. See, I deal with me, Yama Santaman. My shall 2017, 2024, maybe. What are the projects? Which you have 5
zip line.
Zip line.
Yes.
Okay.
Drone.
Yeah, zip line was the national thing. Zip line drones.
It's regional specific. Exactly. Is it not in Ashanti? In Ashanti.
Okay.
Bosomuchi girls.
That is a school.
Yes.
That is name. Okay.
By the end of this month, no, April, we won't say clean Abelandewo International Airport.
It's the airport near TV.
Yes.
Okay. So what about zip line? What about STEM school? What about some channel? What about airport? What about three?
Yeah. Baby and mother unit now until Rebecca is our project.
Okay. Let's see 4.
Yeah. You are trying to get the other ones in account.
Because woman will be challenged, so almost 10.
So what we
and so woman will be challenged almost 10, and the assumption is that why you're more than 10. It's a woman at the lower level. If you want just only 4.
Thank you very much for staying. You're still watching With All Due Respect extended version. My name is CKY_D. We're still talking. We're still on the expose. If you know the energy minister, tell him that we are here to school him. Now, I have questions that I want to ask Napo. I'll be answering all his questions. It's not a problem. Now, I want to ask the energy minister, Napo. And the first question to Napo is simple. And we have facts to all these things. Why did the Minister of Energy or Ministry of Energy lead IESL and its Nigerian MD to meet Tullow in London? It's a simple question. We want to ask Tullow, did you guys meet the Ministry of Energy or the Minister of Energy in London and IESL Nigerian MD, Shitu? His name is Shitu. Mr. S, pull his picture for me. Did the Minister of Energy and IESL manager, the MD, did they meet Tullow in London? That's my first question to Napo. Napo, has the ministry met Tullow in London? I'm asking Tullow, have you guys met the Minister of Energy and the IESL managing director in London? The IESL MD in Nigeria, his name is Shitu. It's a simple question. Tullow can say no. We never met the ministry because we know in such negotiations it's supposed to be the Petroleum Commission. They lead these things. But we want to know, the Petroleum Commission has been put aside. All the agencies that is supposed to be having the conversation, they have been put aside. I'm asking Napo, did you go to the UK with IESL Nigerian MD? His name is Shitu. Did you meet Tullow? And I'm asking Tullow, the leadership, did you meet the energy minister? And what was the conversation about? Did you meet Tullow, Napo? Did the ministry meet Tullow? Is it your job for the minister to meet Tullow to discuss who they and their partners wants to give this contract to? Is it your job? Because you told us that the government, through you, have no interference. They are rigorous. I want to ask you, Napo, the British media will release this. And until you people come out, and the reputation of Tullow is at stake. Tullow is on the London Stock Exchange. It's not a joke. What we are doing here is bigger than Ghana. We are saving our waters. We are saving companies that come to Ghana to do business. Everyone needs to respect the rules, the laws that governs us. Question number 2 to Napo. What was discussed at the meeting earlier this year? It's a simple question. Earlier this year when you met, what was the conversation? Because IESL Nigerian MD was there in the UK. What was the conversation? I direct my question to Tullow because they are bigger. They need to answer. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm asking questions. If people fail to respond, then the expose will follow. This is not the end of this expose. I'm telling you. Question number 3. The Petroleum Commission is the regulator for upstream activities. Why was the PC not engaged in leading the discussion with Tullow? I'm asking Napo, because we know the Petroleum Commission is the regulator for upstream activities. And you, Napo, in your statement, you said when it comes to upstream activities, the Energy Ministry plays no role. There are rigorous steps that the Tullow and its partners take, and Petroleum Commission and the rest. So we are asking, if it is the job of Petroleum Commission to be taking or to be regulating the upstream activities, why was the PC not engaged in leading the discussion with Tullow? We still need records to show us records that Petroleum Commission were part or they led this discussion with Tullow. Tullow, I'm asking you, how did you move forward with this kind of contract, signing this 5-year contract without Petroleum Commission? Tullow, you know the laws. The MD of Tullow, the CEO of Tullow, you people know, you know the rules of the game. You are a multi-million-dollar company, so we know you know the rules. So, how did you guys move forward without? I just want to ask a simple question. Tullow, you know the rules more than I do. Did you guys meet the Minister of Energy? Did you guys meet the MD of IESL Nigeria, Shitu? PC, we want to know, did Petroleum Commission, who are the regulators when it comes to upstream activities, why was the Petroleum Commission not engaged in leading the discussion with Tullow? It's a simple question that goes to Napo, the energy minister, and also to Tullow. Now, let me show you the face of the MD of IESL Nigeria. That's the Nigerian MD. I'm going to ask my question number 4 and 5. Then I'll show you IESL Nigeria MD. Question number 4 and 5 to Tullow and Napo. Question number 4. Why is the MOE, that the Ministry of Energy, supporting IESL and Tullow Ghana Limited? Sorry? Tullow Ghana Limited to circumvent the LI 2204 procurement process? It's a simple question. Why is Napo supporting IESL? Because from the TRA of Tullow, it states in there that government officials for the Ministry of Energy, they were tormenting. They came to choose their preference. So on that basis, we are asking, why is the Ministry of Energy supporting, or the government supporting IESL and Tullow Ghana Limited to circumvent the LI 2204 procurement process? It's a simple question to Tullow and also to the Minister of Energy, Napo. Question number 5. What is the justification for so sourcing IESL? What is the justification? And this question goes to Tullow. This question goes to Tullow. What is the justification for so sourcing IESL? So what is the justification? It goes to the MD and it goes to the CEO. Tullow Ghana, you have a lot of questions to answer. You see, Tullow is on the stock exchange in the UK. This story, you are seeing it like a child's play. It's my hit Tullow. That is why we are asking Tullow questions. We are not accusing. We are asking, and it will be good for Tullow to come out and clear the air. It will be good for Tullow to come out and clear the air. It's a big company. That is why we are putting questions to you. Now, let me take you to my last question. Question number 6. Napo. Question number 6 or 6. Rahul Dehar. Okay, and Kumar. All right. What benefits or advantages are Tullow and its senior management receiving in exchange for exclusively awarding this contract to an obscure entity like IESL? It's a simple question I am asking Tullow. Tullow, for what benefit or advantages are Tullow and its senior management receiving in exchange for exclusively awarding this contract to an obscure entity like IESL? Are the management getting some benefits? Are some things going on behind the scenes that some people are doing? We are asking Tullow MD, the CEO, and the Tullow management in Ghana, what benefit are you people getting? 2 years, you have moved it to 5 years. 90 million, you have moved it to 450 million, but you are telling us it's 204 million. We want the details. Your partners, Cosmos, Jubilee, Petro SA, GMPC, that is Ghana owned. They are waiting for the facts. You see, the biggest mistake Napo did was to dare me. The biggest mistake Napo did was to tell me I don't know what I'm doing. The biggest mistake some of you people told Napo to do was to tell me to respond to him. This is beyond Ghana. This we are talking about today is beyond Ghana. Now, let me show you something. This scandal we have started. There's something I want to tell Ghanaians. Last 2 weeks, and I'm asking Tullow a question. I am asking the EPA. I am asking Petroleum Commission and the Ministry of Energy. I'm asking this question and we need answers. In fact, let me put the picture of the CEO and MD of Tullow on the screen. Guys, come out. I don't have time. Yes. I want to ask a simple question. Last week, there was a spillage upstream. There was a spillage upstream. I want to ask, why didn't the EPA say anything? Why didn't PC, Petroleum Commission, say anything? Why didn't the Energy Ministry say anything? Because the Energy Minister, Petroleum Commission, and EPA, you all know that last 2 weeks upstream there was a spillage. And Tullow, I'm asking, was there a spillage or there wasn't any spillage in Ghana waters? And what does the international law say? What does the Ghana law say? That when you spill oil in our waters, because our ecosystem is at stake. We have a lot of people who live on fish. There are a lot of coastal communities. There are a lot of people who want to protect our water bodies. I'm asking Tullow, was there a crazy spill last week on our waters? And I'm asking the Energy Ministry, why didn't they speak on the spillage? The Petroleum Commission, why haven't they spoken on the spillage? The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, why haven't they spoken on the spillage? And I'm asking Tullow, have you guys spilled? Has there been any spillage from one of your wells or whatever you call it? Has there been spillage upstream? It's a simple question we're asking. And we expect Tullow to do what? To answer this question if there was a spillage last week. The date, the time, and we want to know if there wasn't any spillage, Tullow can release a statement and say we have not caused any spillage on our waters. Is somebody using that against Tullow? Is somebody saying, I'm asking, maybe because of the spillage, how serious the spillage is? Because we know that in other countries, spillages sometimes cost companies are forced to pay over billions of dollars. We want to know the spillage, if it happened, I'm asking Tullow, was there a spillage? And if there was a spillage, why didn't the Energy Ministry led by Napo, why didn't the EPA, why didn't the Petroleum Commission, why didn't anyone talk about it? And Tullow, the question is, was there a spillage? Because I'm asking, maybe because of the spillage and the amount involved, some people decided to go with this deal so that they wouldn't even pay the cost that comes with the spillage, because that is billions of dollars. They would rather extend a contract for IESL. I'm just saying, I'm not concluding. I'm asking a question. Is it part of the reason the Tullow and its partners, especially Cosmos, their reputation is very important, and I keep saying it is very important that we ask Tullow these questions for them to come out and respond. Now, let me show you this. what you are seeing does not end there. ENI Ghana agenda. This is what is coming up. And we are going to do a serious expose on it. We will be doing serious expose on ENI Ghana and also spillages in Ghana. Companies in Ghana on our water that are spilling for the past 2-3 years that they have decided, Ministry of Energy, EPA, PC, Petroleum Commission, they have decided not to speak on it. Spillages with records. There are plans underway to coerce ENI Ghana to also agree to single sourcing its IMR, that is the inspection, maintenance, repair contract, and extending the duration from 2 years to 5 years in the interest of IESL. I've told you this. Don't take this as a joke. These are in the pipelines. There are plans underway to coerce ENI Ghana to also agree to single sourcing its IMR, which is inspection, maintenance, repair contracts, and extending the duration from 2 years to 5 years in the interest of IESL. This is being done. Now, there's something that we have to do. Mrs. Did I receive my questions? Mrs. Did I receive? And this is the IESL Nigerian MD. His name is Kasim Obi Shitu. He was in London with Napo, and they met Tullow. I'm asking Tullow, did such a meeting happen? And if the Minister of Energy was there, the question is, why were you there? What was the conversation about? This man is called Kasim Obi Shitu. He represented IESL in the UK. We're asking, was he also there? Did he go meet Tullow in Nigeria, in London? But I'll be right back after this short break.
I want to understand something. Is it a project or what are the needs for 12
inherited?
Good, inherited. The question, for the sake of time, a specific question. Then I'm almost sure within the 8-year period. Then I'm mobile 2017. See, I deal with me Yama Santaman. My share 2017, 2024. Me what are the projects? Which you have 5 and
zip line.
Zip line.
Yes.
Okay.
Drone. Mpa. Yeah,
zip line is the national thing. Zip line drones.
It's regional specific.
Exactly.
Is it not in Ashanti? In Ashanti.
Okay.
Bosomchi girls.
That is a school.
Yes.
That is name. Okay.
By the end of this month, no, April, we won't say clean Abelandewo International Airport.
It's the airport in the TV.
Yes.
Okay. So what about zip line? What about STEM school? What about some channel? What about airport? What about TV?
Yeah. Baby and mother unit now until Rebecca is our project.
Okay. And it's a 4.
Yeah. You are trying to get the other ones in account. Because
Oma will be challenged, so almost 10.
So what we
and so Oma will be challenged almost 10, and the assumption is that why you're more than 10.
Avoid your Jimmy. So from the beginning, Mekachiam said Napo was asking so many questions. And this is the answer to almost all of Napo's questions. So Napo Bien Anokachira will say he knows nothing about this contract because everything upstream is the Petroleum Commission that is supposed to be handling his line. Because from from Tullow's own RTA document, which has been signed by the MD and the management of Tullow, it states clearly that senior officials of the Ghana government approached the unit operator to separate occasions expressing a preference that the subsea vessel contract should be extended with IESL. Achieved without a tender, it would be given consideration. Napo is the one who was pressurizing the unit operator from the Energy Ministry, representing Gov't, the government, and forcing them to choose IESL. That is why I was asking. The meeting that happened in the UK, I'm asking Tullow, did any meeting happen in the UK? Was the MD of IESL Nigeria in the UK? Why did the Minister of Energy go to that meeting? What was discussed? And I'm asking Tullow, was the meeting held? Did they meet the Energy Minister? What was the meeting about? I'm asking Tullow. So all the nonsense that Napo wrote, I'm asking him a simple question. Why is it that in Tullow's own RTA documentation, it has been stated down there that the government of Ghana, which you represent the Energy Ministry, you pressurize and you picked your preference, that is IESL. How can you tell us that it is only PC that takes care of upstream issues? Why didn't Petroleum Commission, why didn't they take part in that meeting and negotiations when it came to this contract? What role did Petroleum Commission play? Wherever Napo is, tell him this is part 1. He will stand at international law court to answer questions for aiding some people, 1, destroying our water bodies, 2, doing things against international laws and Ghana laws, 4, conniving with international businessmen to deceive the good people of Ghana and people around who want the betterment of our ecosystem and the global warming issues that we all want to stop. Marty Opoku Prempeh is going to be jailed internationally. It is not about your running mate. I don't care. It is up to Baumia. Because from what we have, that is why we have cleaned some of the things. What we have seen, and the kind of thing that is going to go out there in the UK. And I believe and I respect Tullow. And I know Tullow will do the right thing. That is why I've been asking them questions. And I know the MD and the CEO will genuinely come out and say, no meeting happened. There's not been any spillage. The reason why we picked IESL sole sourcing, even though on our system it is supposed to be competitive tendering, the reason why we moved the contract from 2 years to 4 to 5 years, the reason why the 204 million was was not the real number, and that the real number is $445 million plus. I know Tullow will come out because Tullow's partners, Cosmos, GMPC, that is Government of Ghana, Petro SA, and then Jubilee, they will all ask Tullow that what influenced this decision. You see, there's more to this. And the earlier Tullow, I can tell you on authority that 90% of managerial, when you go to the managerial level of Tullow, 90% of them, they don't agree to what is happening in Tullow. The way some people are suppressing the law, how the intimidation, how Tullow as an international company, what some people are doing to the company in Ghana, how some people have been so enshrined in politics. That is why I keep asking Tullow questions. Why has such a big company reduced its reputation? The respect that people have for it, why has it reduced it? So these are questions that will at least give some confidence to the international world and to those who have invested in Tullow. in London Stock Exchange, because if a company that I've invested in Ghana is seen or it's alleged to be involved in these things without it coming out to clear its name, then majority of the people will be considering investing in Tullow. So I believe that, besides, let's keep it here. We won't give more. But I can tell you on authority say, the ABN say, we are working with a very big British media, with a journalist. We are pushing all documents. The reason why we are pushing everything to the UK is that Tullow is on the UK Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange. And until they answer this question, their credibility on that exchange or the stock exchange is going to affect the market. And I'm talking about people who have invested in Tullow. And I believe that the Tullow manager in Ghana, with its partners, will sit and look at this contract again. The energy minister, Napo, has done a lot of things that I am about to let you people know. Napo is a jail candidate. Napo might end up being jailed abroad. We are in a position where we are not supposed to entertain this nonsense. That's why I've shown him an extract. I've shown him documents. I've asked him questions when it comes to spillages on our high waters. I will leave it here today. Wherever he is, wherever the MD of Tullow and the CEO of Tullow, wherever all these people, Kema, Yvonne, I'm talking about Bumpty, Mr. Waters, whoever is involved in this, every single documentation is here. And nobody is going to sleep, especially when it comes to our international waters and how people are destroying it. And how international multi-million-dollar companies have been involved in some shady things that they are not supposed to be involved in. I keep telling people, our job here is to fact check and let the people know the truth. It's up to you people, Tullow especially, to come out clean and let us know the real fact. Did these meetings happen? What influenced the 2 years to 5 years? What influenced the $204 million to $450 million? Why couldn't they use a new vessel for this job? Then IESL was suggesting an old vessel. There are details there that when I decide to go into, it will let people know, or people will know where we are heading. But today, it's 6:11 p.m.